Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we have our 10-week update for the 5-way spray sealant test we're currently doing on the channel. So yeah, we will do a wash for the 10th week. Let's go ahead and go over the products. So we got Gtechniq C2V3. This one we're not going to really focus on too much today because it is basically dead. It just did not last. Next up, we have Bowden's own bead machine. This is our current winner in the tests, but so far it's coming about second, I think. Next up, we have Lithium's Ceramic Slam. This one's been doing really well. So interested to see how it's lasting at this 2.5 month or 10-week stage. Next up, we have Mirch Beading. This one has been a real surprise. Yeah, this one's really creeping up and good chance of taking out the win if it keeps lasting the way it has been. And then lastly, we have IGL's Premier. This one started off strong, but it has started to fail over the last few weeks. Not fail, but started to dip in performance a little bit. So yeah, that's the 5 products. We'll come over to the panel. Now you'll see it's partially wet because I did just film this intro already, and then I had an SD card error for my camera. So I started to do the rinse, but I was pointing out before that, this section where I didn't get the rinsing done yet. You can see a lot of dust and debris. Very windy in the last 2 weeks here, and yeah, the panel's been really copping some good weather, so we'll continue rinsing it, which I did start doing. Get all that dust off. All right, seeing some interesting stuff before the wash. Bowden's is not looking great. Usually we get 3.5 months before it looks like that, but hoping that we just give that a wash and it sort of cleans back up. So I'll grab our wash mitt and we'll just go over the entire panel. And I will point out again for this week, the Mirch. You can see that's still rejecting the wash solution. So yeah, seems to be very chemical resistant. Also the IGL doing that a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and rinse that down. Make sure we give it a thorough rinse. Okay, so we'll go ahead and flood each section, starting with the Gtechniq there. You can see that is not really shooting the water off too well. So yeah, that's going to sit like that for quite a few minutes. So we won't focus on that one for too long. Move the camera over. Now what is interesting, and I did not see coming, is the Bowden's. This normally, something's happened here because normally, we flood that, that's looking a lot slower than what it should be at this stage. This is the, I think the 4th time I've used this product, and like in one of these tests, and I get, I'd say 3 months before it looks like this usually. 3.5 even, we're at 2.5 and it's already, it's like half of it is okay and the other half over here is, yeah, it's just looking flat. So if you look at that, I'm gonna have to watch back some of my previous tests to compare, but yeah, it's slowed a lot down. It's still obviously there and doing something, but at this stage I expected it to be a lot better because it normally has been for me. You can probably see also the Gtechniq has started to sheet that water off very, very slowly though. So yeah, the Bowden's has this like dead spot right here and up the top there, so I feel like, yeah, something has caused that, but I don't know, that's how it is. That's how it's looking in this test. That's how we just got to judge it. We know what we can expect from it normally, but yeah, now it's sort of dipped down a little bit. So I'm just have to base it off this time I'm using it. Next up, the Lithium. You can see we're pretty easily able to flood the lithium now as well. But when doing the rinsing a minute ago, did notice that it would sheet that water off. There we go, starting from the bottom and joining up at the top there. So yeah, it's still, I'd say pretty good. Not great, but still there, still sheeting all the water off. And getting to that last little top corner section, and it's drying off. So I'd say it's kind of similar-ish to the Bowden's, but it just looked like Bowden's has that there sort of dead section. I'm not sure why, but yeah. Lithium now, I'd say, is sitting above the Bowden's in the competition at this stage. Next up, the Mirch. This is one that I'm very keen to see how it's doing. Because last week it was looking the best, and look at that. We are still not actually able to completely flood that section. It's still way too hydrophobic, and then that water comes straight off. So, I mean, compare that to the lithium. Very, very different. So yeah, that's impressive. For 2.5 months, not bad at all. Last up, we have the IGL. Let's move that back so you can see the writing on the panel. So the IGL started off really strong, started to take a bit of a dip. You see the IGL, you're able to flood it completely, but barely. Like, it just starts to run that water off straight away. So let's just move this over a little bit. Let's compare the Mirch to the IGL, because those are clearly the best looking out of the five so far. Yep, Mirch is definitely quicker. All right, what I'll do is I'll just put this right to the middle, zoom out, and I'll go over all of these so you guys can get a good idea in real time. So yeah, pretty interesting. I'm not expecting this to be the case with this update. Yeah, the Bowden's dipped down. I'm going to put it into about 4th now for the flooding, which, yeah, I was expecting it to be in probably 1st or 2nd, depending how the Mirch went. So yeah, pretty surprising. Also, one thing I am going to do probably at the 3.5 month, so another 2 videos away, I'm actually going to clay bar all of these. Just give them a quick clay, because when I actually was doing my removing the waxes that I did in the last test, I clayed it and then rinsed it, and it was actually brought some of the products back a little bit. So we'll see if that does anything, but for now, we're going to move on to our beading test. All right, so just go over the whole thing. I didn't bother drying it this time. I'm going to get some beads going onto each section, and we will swap the cameras over. So Gtechniq, yeah, it's not really beading up very well. Here's what I do want to check is the Bowden. So yeah, this section here was still looking pretty good. Then it looked like over here we had the dead section, which if you compare the beads, so okay, here is the section that was taking quite a while to sheet off, and you can see the beads are not looking great. And then over here, there's the tape line here, and this is the Bowden section. So you can see it's got some nice rounder beads compared. So yeah, don't know what got onto this here, but it seems like it's caused something sort of failure early. Next up, the lithium. So it's looking really good. It's looking like the Bowden's is in some of the sections. So yeah, it's see up the top there, looking really good still. The Mirch, still really, really nice, tight beading. So yeah, Very impressed by that product. And then the IGL, and it's kind of still looking pretty good. A few sections that we did notice in the last video, but yeah, I guess something is falling onto this panel, because we're getting some lines in the IGL that's kind of like the Bowden section. So you can see it's like beading and then a little spot beading. So I don't know if like a neighbour's pouring some chemicals over the fence where this leans against. Not too sure, but yeah, interesting. What we'll do now is hold the mist function onto that, and yeah, that's that line I'm talking about. So you can see there's those lines where the water is sticking. Something has definitely happened there to this panel. That has clearly, something's run down. Look at that, there's a line, or multiple lines, sort of here and over here, all the way down, that something's like dripped down there. So, because otherwise this IGL, if I focus on this area here, looking really good. You can see there's something's going on there, but otherwise, like I said, IGL, still very hydrophobic. Coming over to the Mirch. The Mirch is just insane for 2.5 months, 10 weeks of just sitting outside in the weather. Many, many washes, and look at that, still just performing almost like it did on day one. Sorry about the puppy barking. We did get a new puppy recently, and he doesn't like when he can hear me out here, but he can't come out here as well. Next up, the lithium. So yeah, the lithium, you can see a clear difference to that Mirch. The way the water reacts, it's sticking around a little bit, but it runs off still pretty quick. The Bowdens, I'm going to try and go for this little section here where it looks pretty decent. So you can see, yeah, not too bad. Similar to the lithium. Both flood up a little bit, but then run straight off. But if I go to this section here, clear difference. So yeah, have to judge it on what it is, but like, I mean, look at that. Watch. And this section over this side to the left, that runs off. And then this one here just sort of hangs around. So yeah, so something has happened to the panel. Maybe I need to put it, you can see the lines here as well. Don't know why that's happened to these two sections, the Bowdens and the IGL, but it is what it is. The Gtechniq, it's not the case, because the whole thing, there's no like lines where, or weak spots compared to others. The whole thing is just the same. It's just, whole thing floods up, and very, very slowly that water runs off. So I'll also, let's get some larger beads going. Oh, they all ran off. But yeah, I mean, if I go across the beads up the top, where they're built up more, the Bead King is clearly looking the best. It's lived up to the name. It's king of the beads in this test so far. So yeah, there we go. Like I said a minute ago, I'm going to clay this. Just a bit of a decontamination, because maybe there's just some sort of chemicals here and here for these two that maybe we do that and they clear up, but I don't want to do it now while the test is still going on. But yeah, maybe I don't know, let me know guys. Should I do that in the next video, the 3-month update? Should I decontaminate this? I'll just do a very, very light clay, and I'll, won't use anything too strong. I might just use some car soap and a clay bar and just lightly go over each section and see what happens. Let me know if you want to see that in the 3-month update. Otherwise, I'll do it in the 3.5-month update. And then the 4-month generally will end the test. But if some of the products are still going strong, we'll keep it going. But yeah, either way, it's just a little bit odd of how, yeah, we've got some like dead spots in, like the IGL I've never used before, and that doesn't look normal to me, having these lines. But the Bowdens, I've used this in 4 of these tests, and at this stage it should still be doing a little bit better. And we can see, yeah, there is like a section here. So I know that it normally does better. I don't think it would be normally at the level of the Mirch. The Mirch is definitely winning, even with the Bowdens at its very best that I've seen from it at this point. The Mirch is by far winning. The Bowdens may have been on par with IGL or slightly above it, but to have it down into 4th, I didn't expect. So yeah, it's annoying, but I'm not going to go start the test again or anything. If you guys want to see what I normally get from it, watch one of the previous series and look at the 10-week update. And I'll do the same. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Maybe just these products are just better. I don't think that's the case, but I'll watch back as well. But yeah, I think I've rambled on long enough. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one and are enjoying the series. As always, I'd love for you guys to suggest products you'd like to see me test, videos you'd like to see me make. Appreciate that. Got plenty of ideas, but always I'll make what you guys want to see as well. So yeah, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already. And that is going to be it for today. I'll catch you guys next time.